at that time you start to fall into the addiction to very different drugs, quite a lot of drugs. Everything hurts around you, your parents, your sisters, your brother, your friends, your bandmates. How did you cope with the suffering of others?
And how did I cope with the suffering of others? Probably with a certain amount of selfishness. I think I did quite. It's weird because I'm quite a sensitive person,
yeah.
Sensible, as you say in French. And yet, even though I felt things very deeply, like events, words, it would emotionally, it would affect me. But in terms of my movement and how I acted, I didn't really give it a lot of thought, you know. I just thought, oh, fuck you. Because I was so, there's an arrogance and selfishness to addiction. It's undeniable. There is suffering in addiction, but don't forget there are reasons why people do it.
Yeah.
You know, it fills holes, it fills gaps. I don't feel it now, but I can remember for a long time feeling a hole inside, you know?
Did you understand today, Peter, the mechanism of your addiction?
I think so, partly. There's so many factors though, there's so many different angles to look at it. And anyway, I've always been interested in drugs, in reverie. I mean, I used to hallucinate quite badly. When I was a child and I used to get ill and I get a fever, I would hallucinate and have out-of-body experiences. And it was terrifying, but it was also always quite exciting as well, you know? Not that I could handle it, but I had to, you know, I had to survive and push through. And I think part of me was just always trying to recreate that. Maybe more with the hallucinogenic stuff like acid or ketamine. There's more sense of, I don't know how to explain it, tasting things that you can't normally taste, you know, like a thought would suddenly be like a cheese sandwich. Things like truth and liberty were not just ideas, you could like feel them, taste them and have a better understanding.
And when did you
also it doesn't go away, this thing, like the addiction doesn't go away when you stop using the drugs. I still have the same desire, you know what I mean, to do these things, but I just don't. For whatever reason, today I'm able to say no.
But you don't know why you're able to say no today?
I don't know. No, I don't really know why. I'm just happy to be able to say no.
Yeah. And when did you realize that you were not a jerk, but sick, actually?
When did you realize you weren't a jerk? I like that. It's a good question.
That's what the tabloids say. That's what people say. That's what everybody says. Say, oh, what a jerk.
Absolutely. Listen, jerk is a nice way to put it. I've been called evil. I've been called degenerate. I've been called a scumbag.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Criminalized, insane, you know, mentally ill. Maybe some of them are true, but, you know, it's like 50 years ago, people saw homosexuals as degenerate and it was illegal. Now, you know, it's not seen that way. In 100 years, hopefully, we'll see addiction as an illness rather than a crime.
The documentary of Katia, your wife, is great because that's what it shows and that's what it says. That's an illness. That's all. And you wouldn't say so about somebody who has cancer.
No.
What a jerk. He has cancer.
No,
you wouldn't say that.
It depends on the person, but no, you're right, you wouldn't. Do you know, I've had some interesting conversations with taxi drivers over the years, but this takes the biscuit.
In the documentary of Katia, you say, it's something to be clean, it's something different to have a free and happy life.
Yeah. I think probably 99.999% of people would want to be free and happy.
Yeah.
You know, I know some people are so severely mentally ill that...
But sometimes you're there, happy and free.
Yeah. I get a lot of joy. I get a lot of joy from life. It's like simple things, you know?
Yeah.
Walking in the forest and...
When we grow old, that's what we realize, no?
And The Simpsons. I really like The Simpsons.
Oh, yes?
I watch it again and again, yeah. It's fucking hilarious.